Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy. Boy, he is happy as a kid in the candy store. I got me a brand new book. And right thinkers, I'm going to go through it with you. I'm going to start from the beginning and work my way through. And you're going to be for the whole ride with me. Usually, I done read the book through now. This is going to be fun. I want to let you know, this is a new book. Let's go. Brand new. Let's go. A whole bunch of stuff is in here. See what it says? The African origin. Okay, origins. This is book one. It's 3 books. This is just book one. I got all of them. Okay, but this is the book we about to get into. And see all that information down there? I'm gonna take you to the Aruba tribe. I'm gonna take you all over Africa. Okay. Ooh, this is good stuff. I don't know what a nerd is or what they geeks. I don't wear the pocket thing, the glasses, but the glasses I can't see right now. But I ain't nowhere near nerdy, but I love learning and I love teaching. So if that's what a nerd is, they call me a nerd. But I had one young lady comment, he's smart and he's cool. That's my thing. Let's go. This is going to be fun. Right thinkers, let's work. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's always a message in my story because it's about life. I give you life lessons best I can from my perspective. You tune in to receiving, I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate. I ain't lied, okay? To motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. That's my mission, and I'm on it. Right thinking is way of life. And that's what it is. Through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily. That's a way of life that will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment. What you mean? AKA know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. And if you're a right thinker, your goal is to, know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I asked you the question. Do you know you? Don't worry, you will when I'm through. Yeah, that's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not, a little simple, that's fine, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. Fresh book. A person who knows not, we know about them who believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. Y'all call it toxic. Same thing. A person who knows and knows not that they know, spiritually asleep. I can awaken you while I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up. How? With knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them and cool. All these persons rely on you. Right thinkers, know thyself and always to my be true. Woo! Well, I gotta, man, I'm happy, okay? I'm dying to get started. And I'm gonna start with the preface like I always do. I usually read the back of the book. I read that too. I'm gonna get to that, but I want to get started. And the first thing he tells you is, right thinkers, let's talk about the African origins of civilization, religion, yoga, mystical spirituality, and ethics philosophy, aka Maya. This is all that information I got for you. Let's go. If you into information, you come to the right place. I got you. And it shows right here, note in the use of encyclopedic dictionary references. With the information he gave you, he tell you he using the dictionary encyclopedia for the information pretty much. So just say, I ain't saying this, no. He doing his thing. All right, gonna be a lot of comparison, a lot of, exchange of information. Let's go. The use of encyclopedias in this book will not be for the purpose of providing proofs or to verify specific correspondence between the cultures. Rather, the encyclopedia references will be provided to show you, the reader, that the current state of established knowledge is the sum total of modern culture knowledge is based on what? The amassing of information. Right now, we're in the information age. We got a bunch of information massed. So this information is collected into volumes, aka encyclopedias, as time passes and the knowledge base changes. We get more information, so it's going to change. So too, what does the knowledge collection, aka encyclopedias? So the encyclopedic and the dictionary references are provided wherever used to only establish what the current accepted norms are, cultures are, and also to provide a reference point, again, prove your point, your concepts, for the reader, for that you can study our history, culture, religion, and even more important, the philosophy. That's me. Even though a knowledge source may be faulty, and we know that, or corrupt or incomplete, it is still necessary to what? To begin somewhere. Start with something, even if it's wrong. I get that concept. I don't follow it, but I get it. But this reference point, tempered by our own understanding and scholarship, the only smart education that you achieve for yourself, moving on. And this allows us to what? To take on distance in our exploration of what? Of what they call Sankofa, or to turn back to see where we were and determine indeed where we have been and where we truly are. So what? That we may begin to know where we are heading. With leadership we got right now, straight to hell. I get that in. This guy's getting unbelievable. All right, let's talk about the prefix. Over the past several years, okay, this is the writer of the book, my teacher, Dr. Muta, he's Sabah, Dr. Muta Ashby, but he's the man, okay, and said past few years he had been asked to put together, okay, one volume, the most important evidences showing what? The ancient origins of civilization and religion in where? Africa, the whole continent. He got it covered. He ain't going outside of Africa this time. He keeping it right here. And he going to India, sorry. No, he did some India. All right, and the correlations and the common teachings between the Cometians, a.k.a. the ancient Egyptians. Thank you. We're going to get that. I see he got some stuff in here. I'm going to break that down for you because I'm tired of that Egypt nonsense too. It called Cometians, a.k.a. ancient Egyptians, culture and religion, and that of even in India, I told you. So the history of ancient Egypt, a.k.a. Kemet, especially in the light of the most recent archaeological evidence documenting what? Civilization and the culture in ancient Egypt, and is spread to other countries, which you mean has intrigued many scholars as well as mystics over the years. Also, the possibility that ancient Egypt, Kemet, the priests and the priestesses, okay, and the sages, what? Migrated. Migrated where? To Greece, India, and other countries to what? To carry on the knowledge and the tradition of what? Our ancient Egyptian mysteries, and has been speculated over the years as well. Everybody took a little bit. Everybody took a piece. Didn't take all. They took pieces. I'm a Mason. I did got that piece, okay? Elks got that piece. Every occult following took a piece of Egypt, philosophical, religious concepts. Simple. Ain't a big deal. I used to get beat for that. Not so much. I'm so past that. But now we got here in chapter 1 of this book. We ain't even got to the stuff. I'm just breaking your intro for giving you information that some people, I call it fluff, but it's some needed information. How about that? So I can't fluff this one out. I got to do it the way I do it. In chapter 1 of this book, or the book I just got finished, Egyptian Yoga, okay? It said what? The philosophy of enlightenment. It taught you how to become enlightened. It taught you things you needed to know about yourself to gain self-mastery, aka nihas, anointment, Christhood, heart. I did all that. We did that. This is the history and the origins of all of that. That's the beauty part for me. So if you're a student, this is you love it. You just a fly-by-nighter, this is fluff. Okay? Let's get me to the good stuff. We getting there. Okay? All right. But the first edition back in 1995. We looking 30 years. Okay? Excuse me. I'm getting misty. I'm getting moist. It's been, yeah. Wow. I first was introduced to the basic comparisons between ancient Egypt and India. And that had been brought, because remember, I do Kundalini. That's India. Then they flip-flop back and forth. I just did the zodiac and I'm doing my thing. Because when you know something, you can slide it in here, you can fit it in here and make it work. So that's what I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to get this to you, Malcolm, by any means necessary. So I'm using all my tricks. And it had been brought forth up to what? That time. Now, in the year 2002, this new book, The African Origins of Civilization, Religion, and the Yoga Spirituality. It's going to tell you about the history. It's going to give you the religious concepts. It's going to give you all the information of our ancient ancestors in Egypt and in India. They had pretty much identical concepts. I'm going to take you to the Yoruba tribe also. We got some good stuff here. But more fully explores what? The motifs and the symbols and the philosophical correlations between ancient Egypt and Indian mysticism. See, the Indians get the credit for what they got from and use it their way and fashion it, and it works perfect. Okay? Pretty much the same thing, just worded different. I just showed you Haru on the lotus flower and their Shiva on the lotus. Same thing. Moving on. But you can call it what you want. Right now, the Indians are the most spiritual people. Why? They ain't caught up in some religious philosophical nonsense. They got the philosophy, they understand it, and they practice it. Simple. As a people, as a culture, they still doing it. And it clearly shows what? Not only that the ancient Egypt and in India were connected culturally. They shared the common belief. They did it their way, they did it their way. My pastor runs a church. I run my lab. But we're doing the same thing. Working for God to get you to know God for yourself. Same thing. But also spirituality. It showed, my man said, I tell people I'm spiritual, I'm not religious. As I watch my people I talked to, he said, yeah, but it's the same thing. It's just that spiritual people made the God connection for themselves. Religious people still trying to have it. I understand that. I get it. So I ain't beat for that again. It shows what? It shows that the mysteries of our ancient Egypt were essentially a yoga tradition which did not die. Why? It's still prevalent to this day. We're still practicing it. That's why. Some people try to kill it, tried to hide it, no, it still goes. But rather, what happened? It developed into what? Your modern day systems of yoga, technology, and mysticism of what? India. Y'all trust them because y'all didn't invade them and beat them all up, but you took all the stuff from Egypt and did your thing, okay? They didn't have that problem. Why? We share pretty much the same belief. We wasn't at war with each other, okay? We respected one another. Thus, in India, they have a longer history of what? Of their natural heritage than was previously understood. Why? They didn't fight with us. We didn't have a problem with the Indians in India. They're right next door, our neighbors. And their philosophy mirrors ours to the exact. Watch this. Now, it further shows that African culture developed a yoga mysticism earlier than any other civilization in history. I keep trying to explain to a lot of people, well, the Sumerians, man, shut up. They brought the wheel in existence. We didn't have no wheels. Moving on. And if we followed them, we would have had the wheel. Well, that do mean I heard that argument too. Okay, prove it wrong. All of this expanded our understanding of what? The unity and the understanding of culture and the deep legacy of what? Yoga, which stretches into the distant past beyond the Indus Valley civilization, even before them. The earliest known high culture in India, as well as the Vedic tradition of the Aryan culture. Therefore, ancient Egypt, yoga culture, and the mysticism are the oldest known traditions of spiritual development, the concept of God, okay? Not just the concept, but how to get him, how to get to him, okay? The spirit in heaven, that's the idea we came up with that. And everybody spin off it, can't change the fact that that's where they got it from. And in Indian mysticism, watch this, is an extension of what? The ancient Egyptian tradition. You don't have to fight and argue if you have differences. You take the basics and you work it where you want it and make it yours. That's all. And it can coexist perfect. And by understanding the legacy which ancient Egypt had passed on to who? Their neighbor, India. The mysticism of India is now better understood. And guess what? Also by comprehending the heritage of Indian yoga that was rooted in our ancient Egyptian mysticism, ancient Egypt is also now better understood. I put that to use the other day in my last few lessons. And this expanded what? This expanded understanding really allows all of us to prove the underlying kinship of humanity. We wasn't at war. Through the common symbols, signs and symbols, got that book, and motifs, and more importantly, philosophy. If you have a philosophy, I have a philosophy. Yours ain't wrong, neither is mine. We have what we feel works for us. That's respect. Moving on. Which are not desperate, watch this, which are not desperate or confusing teachings. No. But in reality, expressions of the same study of truth through what? Metaphysics and mystical realization of what? Self. Know that self. That was our philosophy. Other cultures had their mantra, their phrases that they said. It meant the same thing, okay? Now, this has great importance of what? For the yogis and the mystics who what? Who follow the philosophy of our ancient Egypt and the mysticism of India. They can coexist simultaneously. How about that? The origins and influence that the ancient Egyptian religion had on the world religion stage and the philosophy is another important theme that explored in this volume. I'll break that down for you too. We will also explore the basis of my favorite, Christianity, but now Hinduism, okay, Buddhism, ancient Greek, I don't know what they call them, ancient, but that just sticks in my craw. Ancient Greek religion, which is just the Egyptian religion, served over, the Nubian religion, and ancient Egyptian religion. All of those, you see this on the cover, it shows you everybody's pretty much their signs right here. These are all religious signs, okay? Everybody had one, okay? And if you look, ain't nobody spared. They seen this one, this here like the stairwell or on the ship or something, ship stairwell or whatever. That's one your boy wears, Cat Williams. So every coat, every follower has an emblem. This is mine. If you following me, you got to put the eye. You got to rock the eye. That's what I do. That means I'm conscious. I see me. Not you. Ain't worry about I could care less about you. I need to see and know me. Hence, know thyself. It's all symbolical, but it's all metaphysical. Once you practice it and manifest it, it works for anybody who practices and tries it. Just like the martial arts, just like anything else. You put the work in, you follow the basic, you will get better. This is the same thing with your life. Work on yourself. Now, let's go to the goal of the book. This book and how to use it. I'm going to give you a few paragraphs. Yeah, I got enough information right here. It's going to take us into the forward. Ooh, I like this. Moving on. Here you go. This book was created to assist in the study of the comparative mythologies and the yoga mysticism specifically related to the Commission culture and the spiritual systems we call Netherreism. I just put the lesson out. What and who is Nether and the Netherreans? Right here. And their relationship to what? The Indian culture. We always tie Kundalini in with the serpent power. Okay, you see me doing this. Okay, with Egypt is Aset and Nefet. In India, it's Ida and Pingala. It's male and female. See, they do the thing a little different, but same concept. That's what I'm going to show you. And I've been doing that the whole time. This is telling you why. They was neighbors. They shared the philosophy. Okay, they didn't argue about who's better, who's worse. They know the whole idea. What? To get the people in the next phase of life after the physical body dies, get the spirit back to what's come. And everybody got the same philosophy when it comes to that. What you call it? Heaven, hell, we call that mental, the Whitfield, the Reed, the afterlife, whatever. But everybody had a concept. And no, anybody came back and told us, yeah, man, we got to feel the Reed. Yeah, man, we really got a mental. For the ignorant ones, I just want to get that out the way. Moving on. When the body cease to have the spirit, it ain't going to do nothing. So y'all worshiping it, dressing it up, and all that nonsense is a hustle. Moving on, I ain't got time for that. All right. When I die, put me in a sweatsuit and see me in a pine box. I don't need a hope. No, don't none of that. And burn it. No. Burn it. Cremation. That's the way I want to go. Okay? Even I want my physical parts to go back into the ether. Okay? Along with bone and everything. Okay? So, yeah, that's my concept. All right, what we got? The Netherrean and the relationship with Indian culture and the spiritual traditions, it coming down to what? Modern times. There is a definite comparison. There's a definite concept that you just need to understand. Let's go. And this book follows along with a 2-hour video, Introduction to the Ancient Egyptian Origins of Yoga, and also a 12-hour video, presentation by my teacher entitled African Origins of Civilization, Religion, and Yoga Spirituality, and the Course of African Origins of Civilization. That's a lot of stuff. Religion, again, and philosophy, they should go together. Religion and science should go together. Why? One feeds off the other and one can prove the other. That's why. And with religion and philosophy, conducted at a Florida International University by yours truly, Dr. Teacher Muata Ashby. Also, it follows the video recording of the class that was conducted at Florida International University in the spring term of 2002, and it was the introduction of African civilization, religion, and philosophy. And since this book is fully referenced, it can be used as a stand-alone textbook for the study of our historical, cultural, spiritual connections between what? Ancient Egypt, aka Africa, and India, as well as the origins of Commission and the Hindu religions, mythology, and your local philosophy. Okay? We're going to get all of that. We're going to get into all of that. And suggested method of study is to what? First, become well-grounded in this understanding of the purpose of religion. Gave you that a long time ago. And mythology, the language of mythology, gave you that lesson. And history. Also that. I chronicalized everything for you back to 10,000 BCE. White man can't go but 4,006 at the most. All right. And that's because he heard somebody else say it. And to be the first, watch this, the mythology. And the suggested method of study is to be is first become grounded in the understanding of the purpose of first religion, then mythology, and also history, and the nature of what we call culture and its manifestation amongst the people. The Egyptians lived for 4,000 years in harmony. White men don't know about that. Why he wasn't there? Hello? That's why he wasn't harmed. We didn't get unharmonized till he come along. Sorry, calm down. That gets me, I get a little loud. All right, sorry, but that's the whole point. And understanding the purpose in relation, all three, but the culture and its manifestations. Then the items of comparison now may be approached and their significance better understood in a correct, and understood in the context of this study. References for each item of comparison are provided in each section. I'm breaking it down for you. I got you. In order to understand how the following scriptural, iconographic, archaeological evidence, right there, evidence that was discovered by myself or others demonstrate a connection between the seemingly to the untrained eye, different spiritual traditions. I just told you they could say it different, but it means the same thing. You call God Allah, you call him Jehovah. Who's wrong? Neither one. They both right. Simple. Man believe in God, man don't believe in God. Who's right? Both of them. Why? That's your right, that's your choice. You got a privilege. That's what all men are created equal, to make his own decisions. Moving on. Not based on his color. All right, moving on. But the different spiritual traditions, they all come down to the same thing. But it is necessary to what? Establish a basis for the study and your comparisons of said religions and philosophies. Understand the point you're making. Don't just come haphazardly willy-nilly with a bunch of nonsense. And this book is in no way, right there, complete, since the flow of more and more points of comparison continue to be discovered all the time. However, there you go. However, the sheer magnitude of the present compilation should be able to provide a good, broad picture of the interaction between ancient Egypt and India. Never conflict, never confrontation. They never went at war. It is anticipated that there will be expanded versions of this same volume in the coming years. That's what let you know. As more information come out, we will continue to give it to you. The purpose of this book is in many ways to build upon the previous work of other scholars in the same area of our ancient African civilization and culture. However, these subjects are very relevant to us even today. Why? Because the heritage of our people play an important role in our direction, those people in their present endeavors. If we don't know who we are, that's left us, know thyself. So therefore, these studies are not entered into for the purpose, hear me again, I teach not for the purpose of denigrating other cultures or philosophies or religions, or to impose any Afrocentric right-thinking philosophy idea on any people while excluding their achievements and their personal struggles in this diaspora of as if any of all answers, for today's problems. We all know what happened, the problem. But it could be found how? By, for example, reviving. I went to Egypt. All the information I'm giving you is old, ancient information, first of all, and what they're saying here now. By going back, is reviving our ancient Egyptian culture. Practicing Mayat, Semi-Tawi, Shita, none or whatever. But it says, rather it is enjoined for the purpose of providing a basis and a foundation for our modern culture. Why? Because it has been determined that humanity is operating, in accordance with the incorrect basis. We are a capitalist society. I mean, we don't worship God. We ain't spiritual. We are monetary. We are capitalist. We want money. That's the new God. How Bugatti you are, how rich you are. Really? Moving on. But that's what we are now. And that's what the wrong concept, a notion about history that has led it astray. Where? From the possibility of even achieving a real harmonious and prosperous concept among society for all human beings. We're going the wrong way. And with this guy in control, we just go in there faster. Wrapping it up. Again, appreciate you tuning in. This shouldn't get to that, but I'm so annoyed with this, and this all playing into what I'm trying to show you about life. This is for real. Okay, now in seeking a destination, it is also important to start a journey with what? With the proper direction. If you need to go east and you go north, you're not going to make your destination. And this direction will lead to what? The eventual discovery of the destination that was sought. And if you're going the wrong way, you're going to continue to wander in the desert for 40 years conceptually. Why? They didn't know where they were going. They had no plan. They willy-nilly just want to get away from one thing without checking out the situation, knowing what they're doing, so they wandered, moving on. And that's just a philosophical concept. It never happened for real. Again, it's metaphor, philosophy, mythology, to get you to understand the concept of being what? Lost. Excuse me. A people's directions come from what? Their culture and all of its elements. If we don't know who the hell we are, somebody's going to tell us in our best interest. They don't have our best interests at heart, or we wouldn't be slaves or been a slave. If the culture is damaged, wrong information, corrupt information, as the Kenyan social and the political sciences researchers, you got Ali Mazrui would say, somebody who studied this, watch this, that then the direction will be faulty. The people will be lost, led astray, bamboozled, hoodwinked. Okay? Now, if the directive is erroneous, aka wrong, and the destination will elude what? The seeker. Why? If you trying to get to California and you going east, you're not going to make it. That's why. Right information. We're in the information age right now. I tell you all the time. I consider useful information. Okay, pertinent information. Not a bunch of nonsense. I call that fluff. But again, depending on what you're looking for. But if we tell you the foundation, if your wrong direction is given to you, you're never going to make the direction that you seek. And why? They probably did that intentionally. When you want somebody to come ask you for direction, just go 2 blocks down and make a left. What's that? I don't know. Everybody get the same concept. And every now and then, if that's the direction you need, I was on point. Oh, that's right, my man. He gave me the right direction. But how about all the other ones who didn't find their direction? That's what I'm trying to show you. And without a proper tutelage, proper guidance, with proper basis, a proper foundation to stand on, people of African descent and all humanity will be forever searching for what? That mental path, peace, prosperity, and spiritual enlightenment, a.k.a. knowing thyself. That's the lesson. I'm glad you tuned in. Right thinkers, in closing, may you all live to be 100, maybe 100 miles a day. So I never know that my right thinkers have passed away. I'll be right back.